Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, November 3rd. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and NQ. Well, the bulls deserve to take a big bow and get a round of applause. 6% on the week, up 6% on the week. It shows you how vicious short covering can be, right? So, is that all it is? Well, it remains to be seen, but the bottom line is this. Daily's up, the weekly's back to balance, and we're getting close to a monthly high. So that would be the next real big step for the bulls. Remember, just 3 short weeks ago, that monthly high, I thought the market was going to get legs and get going, and then we went from 438, I'm using SPY, 438 down to 409. Well, we're almost back to 438 on a complete V-shaped recovery in 3 weeks. Now the next step is to get over that so they could have a rally for year's end and maybe make a new high. Volume decent, nothing great, but decent, over 90 million these last 3 days. We have 3 gaps in a row to the upside that held. Now, even with that, upside gaps have only held 23.6% of the time. That's with 3 of them in a row holding. We talk about big things have little beginnings. Well, think about that little 2-tick gap that held on Fed Day by 2 ticks. K period couldn't even get to the day's low, and from that point on, we just ripped higher. Yesterday was an incredible day with no pullbacks. Today, we had a little bit of one in H period, but really not much. And then finally, M period kind of wiped out those lagged longs from all afternoon. It's just amazing. I didn't expect, it wasn't the same tempo or energy today, so I was surprised we even attempted to go trend, but we did 3 times, and NQ actually had a decent set of single prints that got filled. That was my biggest trade of the day. I only took 1 trade in ES today. Only 1 trade, and I lost a couple of points on it. I didn't like, it was a lot of chop early, so my main trades, and I'll go over them in a minute, were in NQ. Righty ends with a 9-wide POC and an afternoon pullback low and I and their gap. And again, we'll be going over all these charts. And Q ends with an afternoon pullback low and the gap. We only end up with the gap. We're only 8 wide, and we took out our afternoon pullback late in the day. So there's no afternoon pullback. It was a lot of chop early today. I stayed out of it all morning on both. I lost on a small trade in B period and ES on a long, and then ES was really chop. Both of them were really chopping. I wasn't comfortable in either one of them. I did not really start trading until F period, right after I finished my lunch. I did not think we would go trend. Well, I shorted a 2-lot at 67 in NQ and immediately started going up pretty good in F period. Took my biggest trade ever in NQ at one point, and I was fortunate because the 2 big 5-lots I took were up between the 88 and 92 level in F period. And so I was short 15 NQs at that point. 2 at 67, I think there was like 2 at 80, and then again the majority were higher, so I wasn't getting hurt bad, but it was a big position and it was a decent set of single prints, but they stalled up there. They kept stalling between 88 and 92, so every time it came back I took some off, put them back on, things of that nature. Ended up doing okay in it. And then in I period, again, I shorted 2, I think it was 97, and then it popped real quick. I put on another 5-lot, I think at 02, and then that came in right away. I took those 5 off of 5 points, so 25 points on that, and then I took the 97 kind off at like 94, and then again I did it in J period, but that one not too big. And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to the well once too often. I don't want to do it. And they did go higher, obviously, in K&L, but they did pull back. Why wasn't I looking for longs? Because if I didn't think we were gonna go trend, I really didn't wanna keep buying these things at these highs. I thought there was a better chance for a liquidation break than a real rip higher. That was my reason why I wasn't comfortable looking for longs today at those levels as opposed to yesterday. So turned out to be a good day and a good week. As far as our destinations, we have today's high of 436.29, which is a weekly high, and then 438.14 monthly high, and filling the gap at 438.43. That's a 29-cent gap from September 21st. Downside, I didn't write today's low in, did I? Totally didn't write today's low in SPY. So today's low in SPY, give me 1 second, is 433.01, and then filling the gap at, telling you, sometimes late in the week, the gap gets filled at 430.92. So it's a little over $2. Yesterday's gap was over $3. So again, pretty big gaps. So that's the downside. You should have all the other downside ones from yesterday that I gave you. Now keep in mind, we don't have anything to really lean on in today's profile. Yes, we're 8 wide, so I won't ignore that. But if we do open up inside of today's range Monday, I would expect a lot of chop. I think it would be healthy to get some consolidation, so I certainly wouldn't want to see another gap higher. You'd like to see them consolidate at some point. NES. Today's low is 58.25, filling the gap at 37.75, and today's high is 91.75, which is a weekly high. ES missed the 92.50 daily high. SPY had gotten that high. And then they have their monthly high above that. So let's go to our charts and break down what the market looks like with 2 months to go. So IWM broke out of an 18-month balance to the downside by $1. That's it. Now, when you have an 18-month balance, it's hard for me to say we're down on the monthly when it just stretched an 18-month balance by $1. So I kept it in balance, if you recalled. Still in balance, but I'll tell you what, remember we talked about the swing traders at the 162 level, or right around that level? Well, they took a little heat. We got down to 160, 167, but so far, if you bought 162.50, say, we closed at 174.50. They're already $12 in the money on their swing trade, and we haven't even, gotten close to getting back to, the middle of the range of this balance. So they're still in balance, and right now, swing trade longs are very happy. Look, it's just like the swing short, how they did well. So far, the swing long is doing well. It's still balance. Weekly, look how big this candle is. All it is balance. For me, I would incorporate the last 4 weeks. So for them, they have to take out 177.23 to come up on the weekly for me. So it's a 4-week balance. And then on the daily, up. One time framing up now for 4 days, above the 20, below the 50. Look at these gaps. I mean, is that healthy? No, that's not healthy structure. We know that. We know emotional trading creates these gaps and these trend days. So that doesn't mean the market can't go higher, but if the market really has intentions of rallying really strong for the rest of the year, I think we need to come into balance on the daily and repair some of this structure and then go back. So IWM is balanced on the monthly and the weekly and up on the daily. The triple Qs, still down on the monthly, right? We have to take out a monthly high to come back to balance. We're getting close, but we didn't do it, okay? So the monthly is down still. The weekly is balance. Again, I would use this weekly high from October 9th as my balance high. So it's a 4-week balance. So just taking out this week's high does not put the weekly up for me. We need to take out this high. And the daily is up. One time framing up, 5 days out of an inside day. See how markets go from balance to bear, basically back to balance over 2 days. Inside day, remember this day went up, I said I'm still calling it balance, and then out of balance, back up. Above all three of the moving averages that I look at. We never got to the 200. Right? This year, they only got below the 200 in March for a little period. Now, so they're down on the monthly, weekly is balance, and the daily is up. Now let's go to ES and SPY. Same thing. The bull's goal is to take out last month's high, 438.14. It's $2 away from it, from the high. We pulled back $1.50. I'm not surprised we didn't get it today. I didn't think we would get it today. I told the room the only way we get it is if we go trend and hold trend. Well, we did attempt to go trend, but we never held it. So we're still down on the monthly. The weekly is balance. Markets don't go bear bull, right? We were balance, bear for 1 week, back to balance. This is a whole balance here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 week balance. Okay? We need to take out this, which would be the last month's high, to come out of balance to the upside. That's the goal of the bulls for next week. And on the daily, and what's impressive is, remember we had this $9 of no man land here between 421 and 430? We blew through that. Look how we spent 3 weeks in it. At least for now, we blew back up above it. But again, nothing changes for me unless we take out this weekly high. And the daily, no doubt stretched out, one time framing up 5 days. You want to talk about a complete V-shaped recovery? Here's last month's high, October 17th, 409, back to 436. Think about that. 3 weeks. Down, up. So, it remains to be seen if this rally is for real. Now, a lot of times when we talk about this, short covering makes a market weaker. We know that. Emotional trading is not good structure. We understand that. However, it could bring in fresh buyers. Doesn't always mean it's going to be weaker. So now we're going to see. But again, even if we keep going up and we do take out that high, you know, we have that gap yet, which is a lot larger than ES's. The bottom line is, though, you want to repair some of this structure. I have no problem coming back. It's no good the way we keep, you know, these $20 moves. We're up 6% this week. I don't think it's healthy to have these kind of moves like this. So you want to balance out, say, between this gap and this day, right? Maybe a 3-4 day balance to go sideways. Hold this gap, right? And then come out of a 3-4 day balance back to the upside after repairing a bunch of structure. As a bull, if you're a bull, that's what you want to see. Anyway, I hope you had a great day and a great week trading. Again, the education that we provide in this trading room, I think is second to none. Second to none. So come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for the likes and subscribing to this channel. And we'll speak prior to the opening. Oh, actually, really quick, I won't be here Monday morning. There won't be a video Monday. I have a doctor's appointment. Have a great weekend.